Hey there. Ever write a sentence and just feel like something's off? Like there are these invisible little workers holding the whole thing together? Well, today we are pulling back the curtain and meeting those secret helpers. We're talking about objects and complements. Let's dive in. So look at this. She bought. It just hangs there, doesn't it? It feels totally incomplete. Your brain is screaming, she bought what? That feeling, right there, that's our first clue that a key player is missing from the scene.
All right, so let's solve this little mystery. We have to find that missing piece, the part of the sentence that answers our big question, what? This is the piece that gives the verb's action a target, a place to land.
Now, the reason a verb like bought feels so needy is because it's what we call a transitive verb. The easiest way to think about it is that transitive means it needs to transfer its action onto something. Without a target to catch that action, the verb is just, throwing it out into empty space.
And there it is. The missing piece is called the object. She bought a loaf of bread. See? Now the sentence just clicks. It feels complete. The action of buying has been successfully transferred to its target, the loaf of bread. That is the core job of an object. Simple, right?
Okay, so an object can be something like a loaf of bread. But is that it? Is it always just a simple thing? Or can it be more? This is where grammar gets kind of cool and gives us a lot of flexibility as writers.
And it turns out an object can wear a ton of different hats. It can be a tiny little pronoun like in I lost it. It can be a much bigger noun phrase like my father loves Satyajit Ray's films. Heck, it can even be a whole clause that answers that what question. So yeah, the object is a surprisingly versatile little tool.
All right, so we've got the object figured out. But, sometimes an action has more than one target. And that brings up a new puzzle. What do you do when a sentence seems to have two objects? How in the world do you tell them apart?
Let's bring another character into the mix. Sanjeev gave Shreya a bouquet. Now, in this sentence, the action of giving seems to land on two things, a person, Shreya, and a thing, a bouquet. So, which one is the real object?
Well, here's the secret. They're both important, but they have totally different jobs. The direct object is the thing that directly gets the action. It's the thing that was given. The indirect object, on the other hand, is the recipient. It tells us to whom or for whom that action was performed.
And luckily, there's a super simple trick to tell them apart. Just ask two little questions. First, Sanjeev gave what? A bouquet. Boom. That's your direct object. Second question, to whom was it given? Shreya. There's your indirect object. Seriously, it's a foolproof test that works every single time.
Okay, so we've got objects down. But what if we want to add more detail? What if we want to describe the object itself? Or even rename it, just to make our meaning crystal clear? Well, you guessed it, there's another secret helper for that.
Get a load of this sentence. Reading makes us. We've got a verb, makes, and we've got an object, us. But it still feels wrong, right? It just dangles there. Makes us what? The object itself needs a little bit of help. And that helper is called the object complement. Its whole job, its entire reason for being, is to complete the object. It doesn't tell you more about the verb, it tells you more about the object by either describing it or giving it a new label.
And there we go. Reading makes us imaginative. See how that just clicks into place? The word imaginative isn't describing the act of reading, it's describing us. It completes the object, and by doing that, it makes the whole thought make sense. The object and its complement are like a little team.
And just like the object complement is a real chameleon. It can be a simple adjective, like in, the storyteller kept the children engaged. It could be a noun that renames the object, like when they appointed him chairman. It can even be a whole phrase, like in, we believed him to be sincere. Super flexible.
Okay, we are almost done, but there is one final absolutely crucial distinction we need to make. How do we know if a part of a sentence is a necessary helper, a complement, or if it's just an optional extra? This is key.
Here's the rule, and it's actually really simple. A complement is necessary. You can't take it out without breaking the sentence or losing its core meaning. An adjunct, on the other hand, is just extra info. It's grammatically optional. You can chop it right off, and the sentence will still be perfectly fine.
This slide shows it perfectly. Look at the left. She seemed upset. That word upset is a complement. Try to take it away. She seemed. The sentence just collapses. It's nonsense. But now look at the right. We can add yesterday. We can also take it away. She seemed upset is still a perfectly good sentence. That's the difference. Upset is essential. Yesterday is extra.
So, there you have it. Let's recap the amazing new tools in your sentence building toolkit.
You've got the object, which catches the action. You've got the indirect object, which tells you who received it. And you've got the object complement, which describes or renames that object. Getting a handle on these three gives you so much more control over your writing.
So now it's your turn. Go find the last sentence you wrote. I'm serious. Go look. Can you spot these secret helpers in there? Is there an object? Maybe even an indirect object? Are you using complements to make your meaning sharp and clear? Go ahead, take a peek. You might be surprised at the hidden machinery hard at work in your own words.